Hello, I'm Deveron from BicycleTouringPro.com, and this is my friend Kevin. We are currently riding our bicycles across Europe. We're in Slovakia right now, and in this video we are going to compare and contrast our two high-end touring bicycles. I am riding a Co-Motion Cycle Siskiyou touring bicycle, and Kevin is riding a Van Nicholas Deveron. So I'll begin first by talking about my bike, kind of showing you some of the unique features of this bike, and then Kevin will show you his bike, and we'll kind of show you some of the things that are similar and different between these two high-end touring bicycles. So this is my Co-Motion Cycle Siskiyou touring bicycle, and I've had this bike for about a year now. I've ridden it across 8 or 9, 10 countries. It's a handmade, custom-built steel touring bicycle that's made in the state of Oregon by a company called Co-Motion Cycles. And like I said, it's a steel bike. It's unique because it has wheels and tires that are 650B in size, and that's a unique wheel and tire size for a touring bicycle. Most touring bikes are equipped with either 26-inch or 700C wheels and tires. This is kind of an in-between size, something that I've been experimenting with for the last year or so. In addition to that, one of the things that makes this bike so unique, and something that makes Kevin's bike unique as well, is the fact that the bike is equipped with an 18-speed pinion gearbox. This box down here in the bottom of the frame contains all of the gearing for the bicycle. There is no metal chain on the bike, and there is no derailleur on the front or back of the bicycle as well. All of the gearing is contained inside this metal box. You'll notice that the bike is dirty. We are on a bike tour at the moment, and I haven't cleaned it off, so you're getting a raw look at what a touring bike looks like when it's out there on the road. So this gearbox is there's 18 speeds here total. And this whole system here with the belt is the Gates carbon drive system, which is basically replacing what used to be my metal chain. And this is great because it allows my bicycle to be essentially maintenance free when I'm out there on the road. I don't have to worry about the thing rusting. If it gets dirty, all I do is wipe it down or squirt it with a little water, and I'm good to go. So that's the pinion gearbox. You'll also notice that I have Shimano SPD pedals on my bike, and I'm clipped into those with my shoes on the bottom of my shoes, so that gives me a little bit more power and control while I'm cycling. You'll also notice that in the frame here, this little bracket is what's called an S&S coupler, and it allows me to split my bicycle in half. There's one up here on my top tube as well, and you can unscrew these two brackets and split the bicycle in half. This allows me to travel with my bicycle on planes, trains, buses, and boats. I can split the bike in half, fit it inside of a suitcase, and the whole bike basically travels for free like you would travel with any other luggage. So that's one of the really unique things about this bicycle. I've got and actually this bike came with a very expensive saddle. I didn't really like it very much, so I replaced it with this very cheap saddle that I got at a sporting goods store in Sweden on my last bike tour. I don't really know anything about this saddle, but it served me well for the last year, and so I've just kept it. Up here, you'll also notice on the front of the bike, one of the things that's different about this bike versus Kevin's bicycle is this pinion shifter. This is unique because Co-Motion made this themselves. The one on Kevin's bicycle, I'm not exactly sure if that's from Pinion or what, but it's very different than the one that he has. I also have a very cheap wireless specialized bike computer, which tells me, how far I've gone each day, what time it is, my average speed, and all that kind of stuff. Nothing fancy here. And then finally, the last thing that makes my bike different maybe from Kevin's is the fact that I have drop bars. So the shape of my handlebars allows me to have multiple positions while I'm riding. I can ride with my hands here or down here or up here, and that is good on a bike tour because you spend a lot of time on the road and you want to be able to move your hands around so that you don't get nerve damage as you're riding. You'll also note that I have a large handlebar bag up here on the front of my bike, and I use that for storing all kinds of stuff. I just have my cameras, sunglasses, wallet, that kind of thing inside here so I can reach all that while I'm riding. This is the Ortlib Ultimate 6 handlebar bag. And then down here on the front of my bike, I have an Arkel front rack and 2 small Ortlib waterproof panniers. These are the Sport Packer Plus waterproof panniers from Ortlib. You'll also notice that I have disc brakes on my bicycle. So down here, front and back, I have disc brakes. On the back of the bike, I have an Axiom rack. This is a very cheap rack. I think it costs $40 or something like that. I've also got the Bike Packer Plus Ortlib waterproof panniers in the back. These are much larger panniers, which I carry my camping gear and all kinds of electronic gear and stuff inside. And I also, on the back of my bicycle, if you want to spin around here, I have a set of fenders on both the front and back of my bicycle. These are just very inexpensive Planet Bike fenders that protect me during the rain so that I don't get water splashed up on top of me. And I've also got this little battery operated USB powered light just on the rear. I'm actually not carrying a front light at the moment. So this is just battery operated and I can charge it by plugging it into any USB. I've also got a bungee cord here on the back which I can use to strap things in here. I usually carry my tripod or something or extra water back here, but that's on there as well. So that's a quick overview of my Co-Motion Cycle Siskiyou touring bicycle and some of the accessories that I've added to the bike since purchasing it. Now Kevin is going to show you his Van Nicholas Deveron touring bicycle, and you're going to see that there are some similarities between our two bikes, but there are also a lot of differences.
Okay, I'm just going to contrast this bike of mine, the Van Nicholas Deveron, with the Co-Motion Siskiyou that Darren's aboard. Both high-end touring bikes, both reliable, sturdy, trustworthy kind of bikes, which makes them really reliable out on the road, touring, loaded up with panniers. So just a quick overview of this bike, what makes it different. Starting with the frame, it's all titanium, complete titanium, Dutch built titanium, which means that the frame itself is quite light, everything, the componentry is light, it looks good and it works well. It takes up a bit of the shock of the road, and it rides really beautifully on the road. Unlike Darren's, the difference between this bike and Darren's is that on the front I have a dynamo built into the front hub with a light on the front here, which works really well. I leave it on most of the time. I've got disc brakes front and back. I've got a titanium bell, which is very neat. I've got titanium handlebars. They're straight handlebars, quite different to Darren's. Darren's got the drops. These have got ergonomic hand grips on them, which means that your hands are very comfortable. They're adjustable so you can move them around. It has the pinion changing system. It's a little slightly different to Darren's, but same principle, 1 to 18. Just a twist system, pretty simple system. Coming down to, speaking of the pinion system is exactly the same as Darren's. 18 speeds with a Gates center drive carbon belt. Totally maintenance free, don't touch them. Change the oil every year or two or something, whatever they recommend. Don't clean them, don't adjust them. Unlike Darren's, this also has a bike lock, a quick key driven bike lock. You can just quickly lock the bike and go. It has a pump that comes standard with the bike. It has titanium bid-on cages and an extra one that I've added here to give me just a little bit of extra water on board. It has, unlike Darren's, once again, it has 700cc wheels, which makes it a little bit different to Darren's. The pedals are similar, they're SPD pedals. I clip into those, they're very comfortable. I also have my own seat. I brought my own seat. It's a specialised toupe. People say it looks pretty harsh, but it's extraordinarily comfortable seat. So that's mine. Has titanium rails, nice comfy seat. Moving back, it has tubeless racks, front and back, high quality racks with a battery driven light on the back. Yoga waterproof bags, been through lots of rainstorms, 100% reliable. The front bags are German bags, but they're not wonderful bags. I wouldn't really talk too much about them. They're more like an urban bag, but they're doing the job on this trip, and I'm moderately happy with them. The front bag here is a little tiny number, Banjo Brothers tiny front bag. It's really handy just to have a few little things in here, my wallet, my glasses, my Swiss Army knife, my spoon, my chewing gum, something, whatever I just need to know exactly where it is. And that works well. It has a feature that Darren's bike doesn't have, which is front and back kickstands. I find these sensational. I really fell in love particularly with the front kickstand. You can just, once the bike is fully loaded, you can just lean it onto the kickstands and the bike is stable. No matter what the load is on the bike is absolutely stable. So none of this finding somewhere to stow the bike and dropping it on the ground and those kinds of things. So that's the Van Nicholas Deveron. It's a wonderfully comfortable bike to ride on the road. It's sure and steady and just feels good. I think the pinion system actually contributes to that by giving you a really nice low centre of gravity, same as Darren's bike. So that's the high-end Van Nicholas Deveron.
So that has been a very quick look at our two high-end touring bicycles. Once again, this is the CoMotion Cycles Siskiyou touring bicycle, and this is the Van Nicholas Deveron. Both bicycles are equipped with the 18-speed pinion gearbox and the Gates carbon drive system. But there are a lot of differences between these two bicycles. Our handlebars are different, the shifter is different, the material that the frames are made out of is different. We're using different panniers and different racks and different lighting systems and a whole lot more. You'll see Kevin has 3 water bottles on his bike. I've only got 2 on there at the moment. So there are a whole bunch of things that make our bicycles very similar and yet very different at the same time. If you have any questions about either of these bicycles, leave a comment down below and we will answer your questions as they come in as soon as we possibly can.
Sure.
Thanks so much for watching, and once again, if you have any questions about my bike or Kevin's bike, leave a comment down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you out on the road sometime soon.